Alright, so here we're finally using the quadratic equation. We've set it up, or we kind of know how to label our a, b's, and c's. We kind of know what the quadratic equation is. So here's the first time we're actually going to use this. So this is your warning. It's kind of large. It takes up a lot of work, but it's consistent. It works every single time, if your math is right, obviously. And as a warning, the quadratic equation is just a huge PEMDAS problem. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So you're just, once you plug it in, you're just using PEMDAS. Okay, so let's start off with, here's my equation. 1x squared minus 13x plus 40 equals 0. I know my two answers is x equals 8 and x equals 5. We've done this on the other problem for the warm-up and multiple times. Okay, so we know that's your answer. I just know that the final answer has to get to there. Okay, so let's start off with a, b, and c. So a is equal to 1, because there's a 1 right here. B is equal to negative 13, and c is equal to 40. Alright, so starting off easy. What is the a, the b, the c value? Next, let's write out our quadratic equation. X is equal to, so from memory now, negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That's it. Alright, let's begin it. So x is equal to, so my b value here is negative 13. So there's already a negative here, so I'm going to have to write negative 13 plus and minus the square root of negative 13 squared minus 4 times my a value is 1, my c value is 40. Alright, and on the bottom I have 2 times my a value of 1. Alright, this is the initial setup. All I'm doing is just throwing in the a, the b, the c value. Alright, so when you guys simplify this, I know this looks like a huge mess, but there's like certain parts you do first. So the first thing we should do is we should simplify this and simplify this. And also this. This is easy. Because negative 13 is just positive 13. So let's start off with x is equal to, simplifying this, becomes positive 13, or let's just do just 13. Plus and minus the square root of, right, 13 squared, I don't expect you guys to know, so use a calculator if you need to. 13 squared, I'm doing it with the calculator, is 169 minus 4 times 1 times 40. Use the calculator. This is going to give me 160. All over 2 times 1 is 2. Like, this huge step cleans up a lot of the math. The more you could do, the faster it goes. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and simplify the inside by subtracting this. Or adding it, depends on whatever the sign is. So I have x is equal to 13 plus or minus the square root of 9 over 2. Hey, I know what the square root of 9 is. The next we're going to simplify is simplify the radical. So we're going to have x, we're moving over here, x is equal to 13 plus and minus 3 over 2. This is your answer. If you get this far, you get a B plus. Wow, that's an awful B. In order to get to that A plus answer, you need to know what to do next. So next, I know this is a ton of steps. Next is you have to split up this plus and minus. Whenever an equation has a plus and minus sign, we need to split it up into two equations, one that uses a plus and one that uses a minus. So I split it up over here. So I have 13 plus 3 over 2, and I have, x is equal to. And I also have x is equal to 13 minus 3 over 2. Alright, simplifying the top one, 13 over 3 is 16 over 2, which is 8. This one is x is equal to 10 over 2, which is 5. Hey, that's the same two answers we had from using factoring, solving by factoring, sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's answer this question. I know it's a long mess. You see how many steps there are? That's like 8, almost 9 steps. But you guys know how to do every single step, I promise you. Alright, so let's answer the question. To you personally, what do you think is the most difficult part of using the quadratic equation? I know this is your first time seeing it. Go ahead and answer that question here. What do you think is the hardest part?